How's it going, everybody? I'm kind of in my living room here. All of my family members are either at work or at school, so I can kind of work. Um, I got some stuff to share with you. First off, there's tools everywhere. You can't see it anyway. First off, I just got this thing you see in there. This is a Tama lug lock. They're great. Look at that. See that right there? I just want to let you all know, anybody who's working on trying to figure out how to keep their lugs still, these, I worked with them all week, and they're awesome. They're really awesome. They're nice and snug. I hope they don't loosen up over time, but a pack of 10 for, I don't know, maybe €5 or something like that, and they're awesome. They're really, really cool. I put on 5 actually, for five around my side of the snare drum, and because at the end of the day, not even halfway through the day, I'd find lugs. My snare sound would just be terrible, and I realized years ago that my lugs were detuning all the time, no matter what snare drum. Right now I'm using a World Max. Sometimes that can make a difference, but a World Max, a Ludwig, Slingerland, yeah, those are my drums. So, and it would always detune, and sometimes I'd even have the ones on the bottom side falling out. It's crazy. It would just make me so mad because I'm right in the middle of my lessons playing, and my lugs would detune like crazy. So I would constantly have to, retune the drum. And sometimes it was just so out of whack that I have to just start all back from zero, So I'm super happy about these things. I looked to do it my own way. Do I have anything? Springs and yeah. Let's see here. See the spring here. And I was thinking, see that right there? Right. So I was thinking, well, maybe that'll work. I'll put the spring between the lug and the rim. That didn't work. Plus, it'd be a pain to change heads, but I'm not in the business of changing heads all the time. And I put in, I was thinking, well, maybe I just lock it with a really, like a big washer, or like a really, like a tube. So I got some tubing. And that didn't work either. I got the tubing because when you look at a lug, a tension rod, right, screw, the threads don't go all the way up to the top. So I was thinking, well, maybe if I could just lock it from the bottom end, right? I just tighten it in and lock it in. Well, the threads don't go all the way up, so you have to do it. So then I got the tubing and the bolt down and the nut down here to push it up, right? That didn't work. But I like experimenting and working on things. If you were to see my living room right now, it's like there's tools everywhere. This is... I just tried everything, and the springs kind of worked for a little bit, but then they didn't. And just the way the springs are with the rim, they would sneak up inside the hole of the rim. So then I had to put a washer, and it was really a pain to put on. So now I just put these things, and I knew about them already, but the fact that they're plastic and I didn't want to lose them, I wanted something that was fixed. I also even tried a memory lock that you would tighten up against the rod here, which was cool, but it would damage the tension rod. I knew it would a little bit, but too much, and I didn't want to do it. It would damage the threads. So I just said, okay, I'll just do this. I mean, ultimately, I'd like to find something else. I mean, ultimately, I know what I would do, but for an endorsement deal or something, I don't know. So in the meantime, these tension locks from Tama work really, really well. Again, they look like this. They're now it's such a pleasure to play. I can play. I'm just noticing I'm still in my like work my hoodie. I had this like paint with this and all. I'm still in this thing. That's why I'm anyway. But anyway, getting back to these locks, it's such a pleasure because for the first time in like years, I should have done this years ago. I can play and I don't have to worry about my snare head moving. It's such a pleasure. I just hit it and it's the same sound. It's just so nice. So I wanted to share that with you. I discovered that, or I guess I should say I committed to these things, which is really cool. And then the big news is my Tama pedal, my Tama Iron Cobra pedal. Man, crazy. What craziness. So I bought originally, this is the end of the story, I originally bought a FlexiGlide Tama Iron Cobra because I wanted to see the strap. I decided, I don't know, maybe a year ago, maybe, I don't know when I decided that, within a year, that I wanted to migrate to a more modern pedal because I've been playing with a Camco pedal for almost 2 decades, and I mean it's awesome. I love the Camco pedal. Even when I take it out, it's in the Tama fly case. I took it out and I was just like, it's just like a nice warm spot with that Camco pedal. So, but I just wanted to try to see what all the hubbub was about these new modern pedals, and so I got and I wanted a really smooth deal, so I got the FlexiGlide. It's just turned out like that on where I get it from, the Bon Coin, which is a French eBay, where I found a FlexiGlide for a good price, so I got it. And I'm kind of biased with Iron Cobras because my first big heavy pedal I got was an Iron Cobra, so I was like, well, I was super happy to get another Iron Cobra, and Camco obviously is Tama, so I'm just kind of in the Tama family. My drums are Tama, so I vintage red badge Tamas, like the 80s Elvin Jones, Stuart Copeland, Billy Cobham series. It's with the really industrial strength interiors. They're awesome. But anyway, so I'm just like Tama. And so here it is. Finally got it done. I was drilling today. I was drilling a hole today. I needed to drill a hole. This thing, I love it. I love the way it looks now. It's a little different. Those of you who know what a Tama 900 Iron Cobra looks like, you should be like, that's not exactly an Iron Cobra 900. What the heck is that thing? Java jive. Oh man, that coffee's good. Anyway, Peruvian coffee. I don't know if you guys, I drink a ton of coffee, like bucket loads, really. So, subtopic, and a line. Because I drink a bucket load of coffee every day, I needed one that had less acidity. So if any of you out there are feeling like gurgling in your stomach because you're drinking so much coffee, check out Peruvian coffee. It's low acid, but man, the taste is amazing. It's amazing. You got to get your doses right, and it knocks you out. It's wonderful. And it's low acidic, so it's not going to screw with your stomach. If you're like a coffee addict like myself. And the fact that it's like Machu Picchu with the Mayas and stuff, I'm just like, oh. Moving on. So the Tama Iron Cobra, here it is. Now, problem. So I originally took off the FlexiGlide because I wasn't digging the angle. I have it here somewhere. No, it's in the other bag. It's okay. I wasn't digging the angle, and but then I figured out. I had another moment. I was sleeping, like kind of thing in bed, and you're like, oh, kind of thing again, and I realized, well, wait a second, and and I made a video about it. As long as you put that FlexiGlide cam at a certain angle, you can get you can get the right speed out of it. Because the FlexiGlide, because it's not a round cam, there's kind of a timing issue where I'll just say it here again, where let's say my hand is the cam, that's basically kind of what it's like. You pull down here, it rolls around, and now it's no longer pulling here, now it's pulling up here. So you essentially have two different spots to figure out your timing. It plays with it, and we're talking like a nuance, but it was irritating me. So I finally figured out how to do it, and I played around with the cam for like weeks. It was bugging the crap out of me, and I finally got it to a spot where, which is kind of what they originally put it at, close to. As long as you don't get that cam, the front of that flexi cam, as long as it doesn't go past a certain spot where you start pulling on the screw up top here, then you're good to go. And you can just work on one timing position of the cam. But coming from the Camco pedal, which is what I've been playing for like almost 2 decades, it's a round cam. And the one I have anyway, it's a round cam one. And the round cam ones are just, they're I don't know if I just got used to them or what. I imagine I did. I just got used to it. But they're awesome. They're quick. They're reliable. The timing is easy to learn. So I was like, well, I want to get a rolling cam for this one, for the Iron Cobra 900. And it took me forever. Freaking forever. 900. See? The big R, 900. I got the real one. It's hollow inside there. You can see it. I'm going to put my finger in there. See? Right there. So it took me forever. They won't sell them. I bought it from a store here, and I was like, what's going on? I called the guy back, and I was like, what's going on? Why isn't it coming? And he said, oh, yeah, well, it says it's in stock, but we're just getting a delay from the factory. They won't ship it. So then I called around. I found another place. It took me weeks just to get this thing with the chain. The rolling cam with the chain for Tama. Man. And I finally called up. I finally found one on the internet, and I bought it. And I was like, crap. Right after I bought it, I noticed that they wouldn't ship it to France. So I had to call them up. We're speaking in German. It's like, sorry, dude. I just bought this, but I just realized, too, that you guys don't ship to France. So can I get my money back? The guy was super cool. And then a local store here, he didn't have it in Paris. He said, when I get it, I'll let you know. I told him the same thing. And finally, I was looking on eBay one day after the German thing. And I was like, ba-ching, there it was. It was from Germany. And I found one from just a guy, I don't know who. And so he sold it to me. Chain and the cam, done. It's like, finally, it took me like a month and a half to get that thing. This thing, the cam, right? So I finally got it. Put it on, I'm super excited. I put it on, take the whole thing apart again. I've taken it apart 3,000 times. As I'm screwing in the Allen key, the Allen screws here on top, right here, one in here, one, and I go, and it's like, oh, you gotta be, don't tell me. And you know what? It's right there. I don't know if you can see it. See, can you see the faint line? It's right there. You can see a line. That's not the paint. There, you can see it really well there. Actually, see the crack? Right there. And it goes all the way around. I swear to God. Can you see it? There it is. It's so faint. Get my fingernail stuck on it. So, you know what? I'll even show it to you. So, I was just like, I almost threw it up against the wall. Because it's like supposed to be indestructible. I called Tama. I love Tama. Now I need something to push off so you can see it. You can't see it. Anyway, I love Tama. It's like, Tama, I'm so sorry to give you this bad news today, but look, check what happened to my Iron Cobra 900. It's like more than $200, $250 pedal. Pfft. Cracked right across the top here. All the way through. I was thinking, well, can I weld that? What can I do? But can I cold solder it back? God damn it. And it's freaking... So, I was just like, this is like, I was just almost crying. And, so I went to the hardware store, came back, and I was like, well, I guess I can change it out with another, like a Tama HP20. I'll change out this piece. And so I'm looking online. I'm cleaning up the other piece here. See, this is my Tama HP20. Look, you can see the bearing. You can see the hole here as it's, see? Look at that. How it's no longer circular. I don't know if you can see that. See that? And so I was ready, and look, there's no Allen keys up here. So it's like, good. I don't want to ever deal with that problem again. So I was cleaning this up, got the whole the brass brush out here. Where's that at? Where's that at? You know, like the hardcore, you know, this baby. All right, and I'm like, with the drill, clean this up, sitting there and trying to figure out what to do, because I got a gig this Saturday, and I want a solid pedal. I do have the old school Iron Cobra pedal, which I did post a video up about that, which is slamming. I love it. I freaking love it. This one, right? And I was looking, I was like, you know what, I'm wasting my time with this, because I was trying to get this one. This is the HP20, old school, not the Iron Cobra, to fit on the Iron Cobra base plate. 900 Iron Cobra base plate. So I'm trying to line this thing up, right? And it won't line up properly. I'm just like, freaking, you know, this is just driving me crazy. And trying to get one of these screws that was stuck and I had cut it off. Anyway. Parts. So I'm sitting here. and I'm going crazy. And I realized I'm looking at my old Iron Cobra, the original Iron Cobra pedal, and I'm like, you know what? I wonder how the hinge plate here, how this is screwed in. And lo and behold, the holes match. The holes match from the old Iron Cobra pedal to the Iron Cobra 900 base plate. These two holes right there. Right there, 1 and 2. 1 and 2. But on this one, and the reason why I was just not just ready to throw this thing away or give up on it was because I wanted the hinge mechanism here of the new Iron Cobra, which is just slamming, which the old Iron Cobra doesn't have. And although I love freaking, could have babies with my, freaking love my old Iron Cobra pedal, I wanted this hinge on my pedal because I wanted it. We all have those things, and I want it. And it's just wonderful to have a hinge that doesn't move. And not only is it soundless, but it's just really, really smooth because it doesn't move around. So I wanted that, and that was, committed to this whole process of migrating to a new pedal. So I was like, God. So finally, and like last night, I was like, my son went to bed. I busted all the packages and all of my pedals again. I'm working on it. And lo and behold, these two screws fit. Now, but on this hinge, okay, with the special top of the line Iron Cobra hinge, except for the Dynasonic pedal, they have an extra screw. See, can you see right there? There's a block here, right there. There's a screw there. So you have 3, 1, 2, and then 3 right here. So I needed to just drill one screw, which is what I did. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bing, right there. Drilled it through, and there's my 1, 2, 3 screws. And now I put this, so this is the 900, put this on the old Iron Cobra columns. Old Iron Cobra spring mechanism. Turns out, and I added the rolling glide, the new rolling glide, because I got the old one. Single chain. Right? It's a double chain rolling glide, the new one. And turns out that this part that accepts the beater on the old Iron Cobra was heavier, like a lot heavier. The part inside there, what was that? It was a big chunk of steel, black. I mean, it's heavy, really heavy. This is the part inside the beater holder, whatever you call that. On the new Iron Cobra 900, this is the one I used. It's aluminum, so it's lighter. It's super light. However, it's funny. Which one was that? The beater holder. This baby, right? I'm pretty sure this is the new 900. This one is heavier than the old Iron Cobra pedal beater holder. So I put the older one back on top of the newer aluminum's inside, right, insert. So it's turning into a hybrid. This mechanism here, I swear to God, I hope it doesn't slip, because you just have a screwed into a bearing, or a cylinder. That cylinder is screwed onto it's screwed onto this rod on a flat surface, so it's not going to move. So when you're tightening up this part here, you're not going to destroy the rod. You're just you might damage a little bit the cylinder over top of the rod. But I opted to keep that. This thing, the screw right here, it you can only screw it in so much before it stops, which is nice because that way you won't bust the screw or the casing around it. Otherwise, there's no Allen key screws up here. There's one right here. I'm not touching it, and if I have to touch it, I didn't even have to touch it actually, which is so nice. I took it off. It holds a cylinder in there, but you don't even have to take it out when you dismantle the whole thing. So I put it all back and put it all back together again. Of course, it's so funny because Japanese, pretty sure this is Japanese, anyway, Asian, and things often tend to work amongst all of their products. They don't change. It's like they don't change the machining too much. So I finally put this all back together again. The board was super hard to drill through. It took me forever. I had to go through 2 bits to do it. But anyway, finally got it. And the only thing I kind of lost was this mechanism to hold the pedal down to the bass drum, which is cool. I tried it already. I mean, it does work. It's nice to have it on the side, but I mean, I can just do that. And this thing, I used it with the Camco for decades. So this is just, I think one of the only advantages is really that it's on the side, but it doesn't really, provide any amazing more grip to the head to the bass drum than this one does. I don't know. And anyway, this one is not slipping. It hasn't. So put this all back on, and I tried it. And one of my tests that I do is this. I push with my hand like this feather. And if I can get that to go, instead of going like, oh, look, it's going back and forth, that's bogus. That's nothing. What you want is, you want to be able to, you just pulse it like this really fast, and you see if the beater's moving, or if the pedal's slow, and it's not rebounding properly, it's not sticking on your hand. So I tried that, and I was like, wow. Put it down, test it up against the couch. It flies. It's like it's so light. And I also realized I was weighing this thing and the new Iron Cobra versus the old one, and I don't know. I think that the newer one is lighter than the older one. I don't know. It felt like it anyway. I don't know. But anyway, I just love the look of this thing. I love it. I really, really dig it. It's got this He-Man. I don't know if anybody else sees that. It looks like He-Man, the Iron Cobra thing. It's very 80s to me. And the fact that that the aluminum's here and not black, it looks great. I just love it. I love how it looks with the big R too. I love it. And it's on an old school Iron Cobra frame, So I got it back up, and that's where I'm at now. So I could put the strap on there if I wanted to, but with this 900, it flies. It flies, and it's so quiet because of the hinge, and the spring mechanism's still awesome. You're hearing a little bit of the chain. That's it. But it's just so freaking great. So here you go. Get ready. I can't wait to to try it out at the gig. Obviously, it's going to just be killer. I just can't wait to go at this when school gets back. So that's where I'm at. Thanks for following me with this. So if you guys if you're working with pedals and you have those Allen key screws up here, be careful with them. It shouldn't have busted. Tom was like, yeah, sorry about that. It doesn't mean Tom is like that. Could have been the guy. Anyway. But it was also... No, they stopped doing that Flexi Glide. It's 2016. So, if it was one of the newer ones, one of the original ones, I don't know. I think it was a flaw, actually. Shouldn't have done that. But anyway, regardless, just be careful with those Allen screws. Baby. I love it. Finally got it back up. More is coming your way. I got some more waiting for the things to come in the mail. And that's it. It's like an end of a migration here. I finally got this. I'm happy with this. Just speechless now. More news. Thanks for following. Ciao.